Good evening and welcome to Channel Yemaswati News. My name is Kanyisile Mabuza. Before we start with our news bulletin, let's take a look at our top stories making headlines this half an hour. The Minister for Foreign Affairs, Senator Thuli Dladla, today received a delegation from Russia. Residents of Makubetseni area in Tlambeni were disappointed today after a traditional healer refused to expose the person who performs rituals against the success of the community. And finally, a bag that is suspected to be that of a traditional healer was found abandoned next to a river at Luyengo. With our news bulletin, I would like to reiterate the message that you have just seen from the Ministry of Health in the National Disaster Management Agency, encouraging Yemaswati to adhere to the basic protocols of fighting against the spread of COVID-19. And now the news in detail. The Minister for Foreign Affairs, Senator Thuli Dladla, today received a delegation from Russia. These delegations stated that they are currently lobbying countries, including the Kingdom of ESWATINI, so that they can be able to host the Expo 2030. They've stated that they've spent 3 years hopeful to be selected for this duty. Let's have a report.
The Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation today at the Ministry's offices in Mbabane met with a delegation from Russia, which was led by the representative of the President of Russia. While having a discussion with the Minister for Foreign Affairs, the representative of the President of Russia, who is also the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, discussed Russia's bid to host Expo 2030 in Moscow. The Deputy Minister, Mr. Mikhail Bogdavov, applauded the work done by His Majesty King Yemaswati III, especially in 2019 during a conference whereby he mentioned that His Majesty strengthened the relations that Russia has with the kingdom.
And our purpose in coming here is to get the support of our African friends to Moscow's bid for hosting Expo 2030. And I can also remember that our heads of state, Yemaswati III and Vladimir Putin, His Majesty and Vladimir Putin spoke at that summit, and we also hope that His Majesty will lead the ESWATINI delegation during the next summit.
The Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation stated that the relations between Russia and ESWATINI dates back to November 1999, whereby she mentioned that Russia was able to help the country in terms of health department, whereby doctors were trained in Russia, the education sector, where a number of scholarships were awarded to ESWATINI students, and the training of military personnel.
The heads of the foreign affairs agencies expressed satisfaction with the state of Russia-Eswatini relations, reaffirming Moscow and Mbabane's commitment to building mutually beneficial cooperation in various fields, and also emphasized their mutual interest in strengthening the coordination of actions in the international arena. Your Excellency, I've already alluded to the areas of cooperation, which includes the education sector.
I am Zandile Mpapane for Channel Yemaswati News with Mkolisi Mavuso, Mbabane.
The umbrella organization of fighting against the spread of HIV in the Kingdom of ESWATINI, Nurture, is currently moving around the regions, hosting and commemorating the World AIDS Day ahead of the commemoration date, which is the 1st of December. Today they were in the Shiselweni region, whereby they were engaging with men and boys, encouraging them to take charge of their lives, especially when it comes to HIV matters. Let's have a report.
Under the theme Together Fighting AIDS, Stigma and Other Pandemics, the Minister for Agriculture representing government, Honorable Jabulani Mabuza, today was part of the Shiselweni World AIDS Day commemoration. The Minister stated that it is important for communities to take care of children who have been left by their parents due to HIV. The Minister also stated that men should be encouraged to visit the health facilities.
siyakhulekela emabandleni baholde emabandla ngoba ukuthi bantwana labantu intandane abanabo banabo emphamba very close vele ikhona le nkinga alangakithi bobabe yokuthi ihambela kancane le ndaba kuya ungabe kusemitholampilo ngabe kuya kuphi kepha ke bangikhulumele labakhulunywa ngaphambili bathi bobabe asike bahole kubo konke nangabe ungumholi lakhaya ngoba ngumholi nasekunakeni impilo nekuveluyisa impilo yemkakho nekuveluyisa impilo yabantu bakho nekuveluyisa impilo yamakhelwane.
Nature Director Kanya Mabuza stated that the COVID-19 pandemic disrupted their operations and also tried to water down their efforts in the fight against HIV, but there's still a lot to be done.
Lo 5% losele awusilula. Sesiyabona ke mfuna enkosi ukuthi inkhomba tekusesibili emuva. Bantu abasakusaba lesikhomba ngakho. Njengoba nje sivela amagroupini ukuthi bantu sebabona nje ukuthi angibe ingano ikakhulu lamadoda.
Rose Craig from the UNAIDS expressed figures of HIV worldwide and stated that UNAIDS is ready to assist Eswatini in the fight against HIV.
As we speak, we currently have 37 million people in the world living with HIV. Here in Eswatini, we have 200,000 people, and I know several of them are...
The National Yemaswati News, Chuselin 2 Ingundla, Mbangweni, Hlangano.
The Ministry of Health has applauded a good working relationship with PSI. They stated that they have worked together for years in fighting against sexually transmitted diseases and many other sexual-related illnesses. This was said at Malandelas today during the 20th anniversary of PSI in the Kingdom.
Since 2001, PSI started its journey with the Kingdom of Eswatini. It is for this reason that today PSI Eswatini celebrated its 20 years birthday anniversary. The Honorable Minister of Health was the guest speaker at the event and was represented by the Under-Secretary Administration in the Ministry, Ms. Ngamsile Mchadi, who on behalf of the Minister stated that they have a good working relationship with PSI as the Ministry of Health.
For this, we thank the national leadership that has led the collective national efforts towards this great achievement. We also appreciate goes to all the development partners that have been with us through this journey, through this financial and technical support.
Director Dr. Andela that PSI has several health projects that includes the prevention of HIV and AIDS and teenage pregnancy.
Since 2001, PSI Eswatini has saved many lives of Yemaswati through the provision of over 179,000 HIV testing services and identifying more than...
We look at us now, Dr. Ndale, and equally celebrate their excellence in the work that they have done.
Through PSI, because not that I use them. No, it's English. I'm talking about English. Not that I use them and not that I don't use them. That's what I wanted to say.
The 20th PSI anniversary was held at Malandelas. Reporting for Yemaswati channel, I'm Notlatla Twala with Gary Carlos at Mahlanya.
The trial of the members of Parliament, Honorable Baghdadi Mabuza and Honorable Mthandeni Dube, continued today at the High Court. 11 witnesses from the state presented their evidence, which were photographic evidences, whereby they were stating that they saw the extent of the damage from the riots and the unrest in the Kingdom of Eswatini that the state strongly believes was as a result of utterances by the accused. Let's have a report. Today, the trial of the members of Parliament, Honorable Mduduzi Mabuza and Mthandeni Dube, respectively, continued at the High Court before Judge Mamsi Dlamini. The states presented 11 witnesses who all come from the Royal Eswatini Police Service from various towns and cities in the 4 regions of the country. All the witnesses were presenting photographic evidence of the damages from the unrest riots that occurred countrywide during the month of June and July, respectively. This is where they all presented what damages were caused at their nearest police stations or at places neighboring their police stations and or towns. During this, they counted places like government offices in Tlangano, shops, schools, and many others, including plants, machines, and vehicles that were all damaged during the riots. This case is going to continue on the 6th, the 7th, 8th, and 9th of December. The state is represented by Gareth Lepan, and the suspects are in, and the accused are both represented by Jacobus van Furen. I am Kanyisile Mabuza for Channel Yemaswati News, High Court. The National Disaster Management Agency signed a memorandum of understanding with Mangayane Town Council. They are going to be working hand in hand in assisting the people of the town fight against poverty and also natural disasters. Let's have a report. Eswatini Bank awarded their customers who use their Eswatini Bank cards to swipe frequently. They gave them cashback prizes as well as other gifts worth a lot of money. This was held at the headquarters in Mbabane today.
ESWATINI Bank awarded their customers who were able to use the digital platform to pay their bills and pay other necessities. This includes swiping, using internet banking, and many others. 5 participants were awarded and some were presented with a grocery voucher, a sound system, and a fridge. Speaking during the handover ceremony, the managing director of ESWATINI Bank stated that it is delighting to see Yemaswati being part of the bank and further using the digital way to pay their bills, especially during the COVID-19 era and this festive season, as there is a number of criminal activities and fraud related to money.
So le COVID vele yendele ukuthi sibe khona lesidingeko sekuthi vele abantu bayathanza noma bathanzi sale bangena ngala ka digital sale le mali ihamba la moyeni ngingayibeka kanjalo. So kubalulekile ke kuma customer ethu nebantu bonke nje ukuthi vele siqhubeke singenela ka digital. Nathi ke sibhange sibuke sabona ukuthi kuningi lokusafuna isikwende ukuze silungiselele ama customer ethu ukuthi vele la ka digital platform kuphelele kube kuhle. So sine strategy lesisakhako sitas introduce soon kancane ukuthi ama customer ethu abe ne experience lenhle lemnanzi.
The representative of the beneficiaries expressed their heartfelt gratitude to the bank, stating that what the bank awarded them will come in handy, especially during this festive season.
Lengingakusho nje ukuthi siyabonga kakhulu eSwatini Bank ukuthi basiphe letipho labasiphe tona kucala kancane vele.
I am Zandile Mpapane for Channel Yemaswati News with Mxolisi Mavuso, Mbabane.
Yebo yesuzinende buthakathi bemanolo ashabalala impilo yakho ngomhla ka-21 November kule lisondlo nesiyabulo Dr. Prophet Major V umema sonke sive kule nkonzo yokususa emabulawo kumuntu i-healing and deliverance service ngelisondlo nga-10 ekuseni utabe apha abantu the prophetic Jews mahala akuthezele ngokugqoba ngemafutha kubambe impumelelo yakho umnikelo wale nkonzo ngu-100 emalangeni kuphela phansi isikopoti sakho lezingange-500 mils ubakabakisha manje ngona tinombolo.
Mani, kumbula ukuthi kuqhawulana nekuthinzana kungathelelana i-COVID-19. Qaphela, kumbula ukuthi kubambelana sinatwa ingilasi enyinye nakho kungathelelana i-COVID-19. Ungaqhubeki, kumbula kuvikela labasiceleni kwakho ngekuthindela ingcoselo. Bagcini besive, asende kuhamba ngemigomo ekuvikela i-COVID-19. Indlela lensha yethu sonke kuphila ukuthi sitigcine siphephile kanye nesive sonke asikhumbutane njalo ngalesikutshelwa litiko letempilo nge-COVID-19 asikwende konke gcoka sifonyo geza tandla ngensipho nemanti lahambako gcina umkhathi uphindze ugweme ticubu. Mgcini wesive, ungapheli mandla i-COVID ingakapheli.
One, two, three, bola, bola, bola. Baze baphela buhlungu bambele ngatholi banibani. Manje senginayo into engixoxa naye, ngidlala naye. Manje ngiyayibonga nalihlelo lwaka foster care program lolwangilethela wena mfana wami. Namhla senginalo nami uthundulo lwami lwakusasa. Sengiyazi ukuthi sekukhona umuntu engihlala naye lesixoxa naye.
Bantwa bethu foster care help raise the future bethembethile.
Thamela luhlelo i-People and Places kuleli viki ngalesine. Nensimbi esiphuhlongo utawubeka khona Dr. Prophet Major V i-Tsunami. Umfundisi Sihle Dlamini loqhamuka e-King's Office kanye nembishop Impendulo Nkambule eyakhulumisa indzaba lichubekako eveni. Nasekushaya kabumbana insimbi yemfica liphini landvuna unkulu liyabuya ehlelweni. Ungaphuthelwa, channel Yemaswati, sonke isikhathi. Welcome back and thank you very much for staying with us. I'd also like to take this opportunity and welcome all of our viewers who have just tuned in to channel Yemaswati News. And now let's continue with our news bulletin. Residents of BULLETIN area in Nhlambeni were very disappointed today after summoning traditional healers to expose those people who perform rituals allegedly against the success of the people of the community. The rituals actually continued, but they stated that after finding out who it is, they could not tell the public because it's against their ethics as traditional healers.
Following the disturbance of the rituals at Nhlambeni by the weather, the rituals of revealing witches and their working tools continue today at 5 a.m. at Makudzeni in Nhlambeni. In respect of the law, the traditional healers did not reveal the identity of the witch, but did find the muti at the stream, which also included a dog, which was part of the muti tools that were used by the witch.
Kude vele umuntu othandzako ukuthi into yakhe iphume kanje kalula nje kanje. Sicabanga ukuthi into kanjani.
Gogo ingabe kumbe labo labagangako senako nisibobani nokuthi lesivo indasithini yona.
Sivo sisilungiselele ngemthetho wobudokotela besintu akufanele ukuthi njengoba leli bandla lingaka la sikhulume lokho lambe waleli bandla ufuna ukuthi leli bandla lebalikhethile kube ngilo lesilitshela ukuthi lo mkhuba lo njena uphuma kuphi utabese futhi decide bona ukuthi ngisiphi isinqumo labasithathako bona.
Mpikeleli Mdluli, the chairperson of the youth in this project, said that as the leadership they cannot reveal the witch's name to the angry youth because they fear that they will attack the person.
Sebasebenzele bo dokotela sesikhokhile sisive sasenhlambeni sesigculisekile nyalo nje simele iprocess ukuthi sitakuthatha sikutheni lokhu sesivele sifike khona emaphethelweni. Siyasibonga nesive nebatali labasibambisile kuze siphushe sifike la sikhona khona.
Lesive sifuna amagama ebathakathi nisithini umanya lo squad lisifuna labanye.
Yebo sive siyawafuna amagama ebathakathi kodwa thina ngoba simaswati kuyatiwa ukuthi igama lemuntu inkomo. Asikasiniki vele angeke sisinike futhi noma ngabe besingaba naso ngeke sisinike ngekubuka budlwangudlwangu kanti lana asikaqonzi kutokulwa noma kutowendani sitozama ukuthi khulula nekwakha kuthula emangweni.
Ngilamafisha ndachubeka nihlale nebathakathi enibade.
Angeke siqhubeke sihlale nabo sitawuhlala nabo kwesikashane kukhona daba lesifuna kutenda siphinze singitota khamuti lokutawuthola ukuthi kuyasisita.
For Yemaswati channel, I'm Kerry Carlos, Nhlambeni, Makudzeni.
A bag was found abandoned next to a river at Luyengo area. What perplexed the residents of the community is the fact that this bag looks like it could belong to a traditional healer. Let's have a report.
The bags that are clear belongs to a traditional healer were found at Luyengo next to the river. According to Mr. Leo Masilela, who is a community police at Luyengo, he stated that the things were discovered next to the river by people. Masilela stated that they are in a cleanup campaign these days, so discovering such goes against their campaign. Masilela also mentioned that people use the very same water for drinking.
Sisemakhaya sathola report itolo ukuthi kukhona timpahla letilahliwe la emfuleni leticishe tifana netasendumbeni njengoba nitibona thina nokushuta ubonakala ukuthi khona umuntu wekunene lokungabonakala kusibala thudana lode watoti lahla la emfuleni ngale ndlela tahlengana nowetibona nje lokuyinkinga-ke kuyasehlula nathi ngoba phela into enjengaleti tunemsimeto wadu wokuthi lahla nje ubani ngemaswati nanilati ukuthi kunendlela yakuthi ukuthi nyalo nje asathi kustatsini sisabathinzile-ke labadzala bemango batosibonisa batawubita nabo bani labadzala abasebenzayo nabasebenza ukuthi tingalahla kanjani itumpahla njengaleti lesingakusho lokusiphatha kabi baka-Channel S vele la eliyengweni semkhankasweni ukulwa nenzaba kulahlakala kabi kwetili sekusha-ke lokhu asikwati-ke lokuthi inyanga-ke natona setilahla emasiko ato nje ubani kunakukhayisisa nje kubonakala la indumba nje yonke iphelele nayo asathi-ke lokhu nene ukuthi thine sitakuthini kejake kusho ukuthi sekutawubona ngilabadzala bemango bala ngathi nje sufanga lokho sisahlangana afikile-ke nemaphoyisa nawo sawaqatulana kusayibuka le nto bayishiyake isisibemango lolusuthu lolu cishe ludliwa yonke leswazini londla abantu abaningi manje la sekulahla tinto leti njengaleti la akuhambi kahle uba noma ungakushisa la noma ungakuthini ithonseli yakithi angena la emfuleni sesendela nathi mane nithumele la emangweni waseswatini ukuthi ingendeki le nto lenjengala sisatawubona kona lokuthi sikwenta njani sibantu labadzala balaliyengweni ukuthi sithini.
The discovered items include clothes, money, snake skin, etc. Reporting for Yemaswati channel, I am Nonhlanhla Twala with Gary Carlos at Luyengo.
The National Disaster Management Agency signed a memorandum of understanding with Mangayane Town Council. They are going to be working hand in hand in assisting the people of the town fight against poverty and also natural disasters. Let's have a report.
Ngiyabonga ibhodi lokuthi i-movement lokuthi izaba tehlakalo development ihambise phambili.
Cha siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi sibe khona kulo mhlangano wa KNDM nedolobha lamakhaya. Siyabonga ukuthi sinaye CEO wedolobha lamakhaya sinaye futhi na council ukhanga khona amakhaya futhi khona makhaya
Edzabende msakato ichandi Yemaswati kubuya Khimbali Mavuso nalo makhosi Nxumalo eMbabane.
And with that, we have come to the inevitable end of our news.
The Minister for
Before I sign out, let's take a look at our top stories making headlines once again. The Minister for Foreign Affairs, Senator Tuli Dladla, met with the Russian delegation today, who are here to lobby the kingdom for the Expo 2030. Residents of Nhlambeni were disappointed after a traditional healer ascertained who is currently working allegedly against their success as a community but could not disclose to them as it is against the traditional healer's ethics. And finally, a bag that is suspected to belong to a traditional healer was found abandoned next to a river at Luyengo community. Thank you very much for staying with us. I do hope you will have a good night and may God bless you.
selo